In Slinging Spro, Zac Kitson will provide an explanation of espresso, what it is, where it comes from, and how we drink it. Here's Zac.
Hi, I'm Zac Kitson. I've been working here in Hutchinson with coffee for about 15 years. How's that? Good? Cool. You might wonder why I look familiar. It's probably because you recognize me from behind the bar at the Metro. I'm an SCAA certified barista, and coffee is something I'm passionate about and love to share with my community. So now I'm going to share it at you. So the origin legend of coffee goes that there was a goat herd in Ethiopia around 850 AD named Kaldi. He found his goats dancing around a tree with red berries. When he tried the berries for himself, he felt so energetic that he couldn't sleep that night. The next day, he brought his findings to a nearby monastery. When Kaldi told the abbot of the monastery about his discovery, he made a drink from the berries, the abbot did, and was able to study late into the night. He shared the discovery with the other monks, and from there, the news of the energizing berries spread east and to the Arabian Peninsula. So what is espresso? Really, it's just a method of brewing coffee where you make a concentrated solution by forcing hot water through a small amount of grounds, very high pressure, very quickly. So simply the things that you need to make a good shot of espresso are good coffee, a good grind, a good machine, and knowledge of how those things work together. A well-made espresso shot will initially have 3 layers. The top layer, or the crema, contains the proteins, the sugars, and the oils, and it provides the really fine tastes and the aromas. The middle layer, the body, contains the majority of the extracted coffee and contributes to the mouthfeel and the overall taste. And then the bottom layer, which is called the heart, contains the bitter acids and balance out the sweetness. A cup of drip coffee. Sorry, that's my kid. I got distracted. Is a tiny bit different from espresso, if only in the way that they are brewed and served. A single shot of espresso comes in a tiny cup, and a regular cup looks more like the one on the left. Speaking of coffee grounds, here's a picture of the difference between how we grind for espresso and how you grind for drip coffee. For espresso, on the left, it's fine like sand, and for drip, it's coarse like rocks. The finer you grind, the more flavor you can extract. So to achieve that, you need a good grinder that uses opposing burrs. These are 2 different kinds of burrs. Some are conical and some are flat. There's heated debate among baristas, which is really best, but the important thing is that the distance between them can be set and maintained consistently and accurately. I've lost my second page. So this is going from green coffee to roasted a little too dark. I was just going on autopilot, sorry. Anyway, so which is stronger? You have really about the same amount of caffeine in a shot of espresso as in an 8-ounce cup of coffee. So, a lot of people, there's a common misconception that there is an obscene amount of caffeine in espresso, and it's really just about moderation. Coffee is grown on a tree, and it is the pit of a cherry, like this. And it is... Sorry. Goodness. I do, yeah. So when they pick the coffee, they either take all of the fruit off. It's called cascara. They either take all the fruit off or leave it on, and then it's stored on raised drying beds to dry in the sun. And after it's dry, they will then remove whatever fruit's left, and it gets sent to the U.S. to roasting. This is a roaster. There's a gas-heated drum inside, and it spins. And the roaster listens for different phases or cracks because the coffee will crack as it is roasted. This is the difference between some good green coffee and some bad green coffee. So on the top you have ununiform size, lots of discoloration, lots of broken beans. On the bottom they're very, very uniform size, all the same color. There's a lot of different types of espresso machines, but basically they're just a giant boiler with a bunch of stuff attached. Um, so at the top there, we got a super automatic that does everything when you push a button. Um, on the left is a lever, and so you engage the water pressure by pulling the lever and letting it go. On the bottom there is a semi-automatic, which is what a lot of coffee shops use. So how do we make espresso? Well, first you have to grind it. You grind about 7 to 9 grams per shot or ounce of coffee into what's called a portafilter. It's a basket with a bunch of little holes in the bottom. And then you tamp it using even distribution. You want to pack it in nice and tight so that you can force the coffee through it at high pressure. And then during that, the boiling water will extract the coffee flavors and oils into shots. So that may be great for some of you, but some people don't like straight coffee. So there are some options. We can put milk and sugar in it too. There are 3 basic types of milky coffee drinks. You've got the macchiato, which is 1 or 2 shots of espresso, same amount of steamed milk and some foam. There's the latte, which is mostly milk with foam, and then there is the cappuccino, which is about a third espresso, third milk, third foam. The way you get the milk hot is you steam it with a steam wand. That takes steam from the boiler, and you incorporate the heat and the air to get the nice texture of the milk. And if you do that right, all of it, you can make a really nice design, really nice milk. So I hope you learned something and are excited to try something new, or are equipped to ask more questions the next time you're in a coffee shop. Or maybe I've made espresso a little less intimidating or confusing. Thank you.